Hey, what's up guys? Brian here, Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hey, we're over here at the property and look who we found over here.
What's up, Brian? Good to see you, man.
We got
been a while.
I know, man. We got Aaron over here with Cub Cadet. Sponsored content, just so you guys know. Super excited about this video, all right? Check this out. We are over here at my property, 3.5 acres, and we have a new product offering from Cub Cadet. This is based on the 972 zero-turn platform. Something very, very cool. I think maybe one of the industry firsts, a GPS powered mower. All right, we're gonna take it away with Aaron here. What do you got, brother?
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Brian. So a couple years ago, you ran our 960L. That's our lap bar powered unit. You didn't get the opportunity to run our unit with the steering wheel.
No.
So it's gonna be a twofold video here where you're going to see how the steering wheel technology works, but that steering wheel technology also is why we're able to do this GPS as well. So a couple things about the steering wheel unit just up front before we even talk about the GPS system is that a lot of people look at the steering wheel and they say, well, it's a tractor type, it's not a real zero turn, do I want to use it? But this is actually still a zero turn, because what happens is the front wheels are tied to the transmission. So from the seat back, this is identical to the 960L that you drove a couple of years ago.
That's right.
No difference. But then from the seat forward is all different from there. Okay. So instead of the sticks controlling the transmissions, this wheel is doing it. I'm gonna take this plate off in a minute to show you how it works. But what you have is, when you're running that lap bar zero turn, we've all done it, you've done it, Rob's done it, whoever, you're mowing along a slope, and those front wheels do this all the time.
Yep.
All right? You have no control over them. They just go wherever you want them to go. Well, now with the steering wheel, I have control of those. Okay?
Look at that.
And then you also have the problem of tearing turf up, right? It's hard to make a true zero turn without tearing turf up. So then you have to do a Y turn, which takes time to do as well. So what's gonna happen when you're driving this machine, it's still gonna zero turn. And how that works is, when I take this off, we call this the cuckoo clock. And this is kind of where all the magic happens. So what you have is this linkage ties the front wheels into the transmission. So as I'm moving this steering wheel, I'm moving this linkage, and that's making the same movement that the sticks make as you're driving it to keep it straight. But what's beautiful is when you get this all the way to 90, okay? I have those front wheels at a 90-degree angle. It automatically counter rotates the inside tires, so you never tear turf up.
Wow.
But because we have this steering wheel technology that we've had out for years, now we're able to put GPS technology onto this unit very, very simply, because we're not controlling the transmissions to drive the unit and turn the unit. All we have to have is the GPS technology moving these front wheels to make it work the way it's gonna work.
Wow.
Okay, so this GPS technology that we're gonna show you today is for mowing straight lines and gaining efficiencies. We've done some third-party testing, and what we found, just in overlap efficiency alone, about 12% of efficiency gains.
So what's overlap efficiency? What do you mean by that?
Okay, so when we talk overlap efficiency, this is a 72-inch machine. We offer it in a 60-inch as well.
Okay.
Okay. This unit, when I go over the GPS technology, this unit is guaranteed to always give you, in the most efficient setting, 3.75 inches of overlap. 3 3/4 inches of overlap.
Okay.
What we found in the testing, though, we did a lot of testing, just square mowing testing. Landscaper would run 100 foot, turn around, come back. We would do that 10 times, we would measure it out. And what we found is, on especially, you've got a lot of deck hanging out past that tire track. So if you follow the tire track, you're losing at minimum that much of the deck.
Yeah, on our channel we call that going tip to tip.
Tip to tip.
There you go. But a lot of guys are leaving overlap that are new into the business.
They are.
And that's costing time and money.
Time and money.
Okay.
The other thing that you find is, your property should probably show this very well. No property's flat, right?
Right.
There's undulation and change in slope and everything like that. Well, when you go up and down slopes in different terrain, you may get off a little bit here or there, okay? And at some point in time, all that has to get cleaned up.
Yep.
And if you get off 3 inches because you're going up a slope, that's gonna add up over the entire property.
And that just happened last week, didn't it, Rob? Yes. That happened last week because we went straight down, and then somehow I pointed at something in the distance and went straight down and diagonal. and it was pretty gnarly trying to clean that up.
Yeah, the other thing that you do is when you're going around objects, now there's not a lot out here. We're gonna pick up some places where we can do that out here, but when you go around an object and you make that tree ring around that tree, that landscaping, and you go to pick that line back up, it's very difficult to pick that line back up. And if you're trying to get good, nice straight lines,
right,
that's gonna eat up over time.
Sure.
Right? So what happens with this unit? As I sit down on it, we'll talk about the joystick and how everything works. First thing you have, that you were pointing out a minute ago, is the antenna. And this antenna is communicating to satellites,
okay,
up in the sky. And there's lights on here that'll do different things and tell you what's going on. It's on solid green right now, which means the GPS is on its satellites, it's working. It's gonna operate in a GPS mode. When you first turn the unit on, it flashes blue, and then as it's finding the satellite signal, it'll flash green, and then it goes solid green. If you ever lose GPS connectivity, going under trees, something happens to the unit,
sure,
it'll flash red at you, and which means grab the wheel.
Okay.
Okay, so you always know where the unit's at and how it's gonna work. Okay, so that's the antenna, and your controls are right here in this joystick. Very ergonomic, very comfortable. It actually will adjust out forward, back a little bit as well, so you can get it comfortable where you like it.
Okay.
But basically what happens with this system is, this gray button is your GPS button. This is how you operate the GPS system. So what's gonna happen when we get Rob on this unit here in a minute, we are going to hit this gray button one time. That's our A point. We're gonna decide where the B point is. What's great about it is you don't have to, it doesn't pick up the line you're driving. So let's say we were under a property long ways here.
Yep.
We could start at the corner of the property, hit A. I could go over to your truck, grab a drink, go use the restroom, drive circles and figure eights, and I could go put the lawnmower at the far corner of your property and hit B.
Okay.
And all it knows is A to B from that point. It doesn't know what you did over here goofing off.
Right.
It just keeps that line from A to B, and it makes that line.
So it drops a pin over here and drops a pin at the other side.
Best way to look at it.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So then what happens is, we're on a 72-inch machine. The program is going to say, okay, I'm a 72-inch machine. I've got 3 3/4 inches of overlap. It puts it in that, we aren't gonna do the math in our head, but let's say 67.5 to 68 inches.
Sure.
And it basically draws a line forever.
So it charts it out.
Charts it out. If you are in the state of Michigan, which we're in right now, that line is forever. So I don't know which direction we're pointing, but if Grand Rapids is that way, the GPS system doesn't know of the structure.
Okay.
Okay, and what's gonna happen, and we'll simulate this out here, is if I'm mowing, I can go into manual mode and go around an object, and then I just gotta hit the GPS button again.
And it
finds that line.
It just picks up
just
where left
like
off.
That. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And then when you get ready to turn, you hit turn right or turn left.
So that's on
right
the
here.
joystick.
That's on a joystick. And what that does is, we just talked about the steering wheel technology and how it counter rotates the inside tire. What this does is it activates our synchro steer technology. That's what we call this.
Okay.
It activates that synchro steer technology, makes a perfect zero turn, doesn't tear any turf up,
What?
and moves the 68 inches over, basically.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
That's gonna be awesome.
Now, you do still have to drive the unit.
Okay.
So the operator is in control of the speed right here. So they're gonna control speed here. But because of the GPS technology, you never have to hit the reverse button.
Right.
You just constantly are going forward at all times. And kind of what I've done, and when we show Rob how to drive, we'll make sure we cover this, is what I've found is however fast I can mow, it's probably gonna be kind of bumpy, so I'm not gonna be able to go fully, full out on speed, is I find that when I go to turn, if I lift my foot where my foot's like 90 degrees up pointing to the sky,
yep,
that's about the right speed to turn with it. And you kind of get a feel for it.
Sure.
So it turns and works out pretty well.
And it's gonna line you up on the next pass, bring you all the way down and make a perfect stripe back to back. Well, we're gonna put it through the test.
That's what we want to do.
So let's put it through the test. Let's see how it does. All right,
yeah, let's do it.
Let's get Rob on here.
Let's get Rob over here.
All right, so we're at the corner of the property. Rob's coming on down, and we are going to cut it straight up diagonal the whole way down.
So let's get it lined lined up pretty straight to where we want to start.
Get a little bit more throttle.
Alright, what we're going to do is, when you're ready to start, you're going to hit this button once. Alright? That's going to be your A point. What we find when you're first using the unit till you really get comfortable with it, the best way to do it is hit A here, do not turn the blades on, and run a line. That way you get your A and B points set, and once you get close to the end, go ahead and hit it the second time. And what you'll find is these lights will go all green. So what'll happen is when you first hit this once, just go ahead and hit it, that light is flashing. When you set it for the B point, it'll go solid and this will go solid. At that point, I want your hands to never touch the steering wheel at all. And then I don't know, when you get up there, do you want to turn right or turn left at the end?
I'll probably turn right.
So about 10 feet before the end, I want you to hit the gray button again, and you'll feel the steering wheel like tighten up. Yep. See if we can get it.
Good knowing ya.
Yeah, no, right.
So we got this stake in the ground, and what we're gonna simulate, I mean, you gotta go around it anyway, this is going around an object. When you get up to this stake, you're gonna take the wheel and go to the right, do a full ring around that, and then once you get back around it, your auto light's gonna be flashing because you're not in auto mode. All you're gonna have to do is hit that gray button again, and it's gonna lock right back on your line, okay?
Good luck. The proof is in the pudding right there.
That's right.
I was like, no way, no way. That's actually pretty sweet.
That is, and that simulates what you would see going through an object, going through a property. Imagine this whole thing is landscaping.
Yep.
How are you going to get those lines to match here to over there without GPS technology?
So when's it going to start trimming for me?
Well, I don't know about that.
Working on that?
Yeah, we'll work on that.
One thing at a time.
So what do you think Rob can do it?
There you go. There you go. coming in hot.
Yeah.
You look good out there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
You look so relaxed.
I really am, honestly.
You guys
How
living
was
the
it,
dream.
man? How was it overall?
Honestly, I honestly would say I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Especially like with Brian's property, it gets very bumpy and everything like that. And I can, like the seat, I had no problems. I didn't feel like I was just bouncing around, jarring around and all that. Everything came really simple to me. I mean, only thing I would say like learning curve, ironically, would be when to press the button to make your turn.
Yeah.
Like just to know like how big and wide the turn is just in general. But other than that, I mean, everything else was pretty intuitive.
When you were halfway done, you're like, kick back, relax. You knew how to do everything. It was awesome.
First,
awesome.
first couple stripes, I was a little nervous just because, it's a new machine whatever. But like after I got at least 5 stripes done, I'm just sitting here chilling out and I'm relaxing. I enjoyed every moment of it, honestly.
Quite honestly, whenever I saw you take off and how bumpy it was, we've got this thing set to the most efficient setting, which means it's only going to be 3 3/4 inches of overlap. And you start bouncing this thing around. You can get off a couple inches pretty darn quick.
Yeah, there was one spot that I was back there. It's just there's a big divot, and I was probably going too quickly. And so when I went through it, it like caught the wheel and probably like, took me off the line. But I mean, it put me right back on. Yeah, I didn't have to do anything. It put me right back on the line.
Between the bumps and a little bit of tree lining here with the satellites.
Yeah.
I thought it performed really well from our standpoint, just by different demos we've had and things like that. We were a little nervous when it first got out here, but it looks like it performed really well.
They can change it from 3.75 inches of overlap
down to about, I think it goes down to 8 or 10 inches actually, and it goes down by this dial right here. Each click is 2 inches.
Okay.
So that'd be 5 3/4, 7 3/4. 9 3/4, so almost 10 inches. And where you would want to do that at is, let's say this was overgrown, you got it here for the spring or whatever happened, and it's this tall.
Right.
You might not want to mow as wide because the deck and the engine, you want to overlap a little bit more for a better quality of cut.
Process.
Or if you're doing some really steep slopes, the GPS works in a 2-dimensional area, right? So if it's mowing 68 inches on a flat, and then you go to mow a slope that's, this is rated at 20 degrees, well, your deck is like this, it's not covering 68 inches.
Right.
So you might want to dial it back there so you don't miss any grass.
All right, cool. Yep. Well, where can people learn more? So Cub Cadet website probably? Yeah,
so we have a lot of content up on a website, cubcadet.com. We've got a full, kind of SurePath almost landing page. We're gonna have an efficiency calculator built in on the website. So you can go to the website and say, hey, I mow 30 hours or 30 weeks out of the year. On average, I'm mowing grass 4 to 5 hours a week. I try to average $50 an hour, $60 an hour, whatever you try to average man hour labor rate. And it'll spit you out a calculation of what the potential savings will be running this unit.
All right.
Yeah, and then we look forward to seeing everybody at GIE. We missed last year. I can't wait to see everybody.
Yeah.
I always call it my family reunion, so I can't wait to see everybody down there. We're gonna have some really cool stuff going on in our inside and outside booth, where you can get reaction time and pictures taken with the SurePath when you're driving it. You can do things like Rob was doing, where he's laid back, kicking back, playing paper, rock, scissors, all those types of things.
I love it.
So,
well, we really appreciate Cub Cadet partnering up with us. Again, if you guys want more info on the SurePath auto steer or just the 960, the 9 series in general, come check it out.
Definitely, man. We love seeing people, talking to people, and get people's reactions and feedback. So can't wait to see everybody in person.
All right, guys. Well, we really appreciate you checking out the video. And again, thanks to Cub Cadet for partnering up and sponsoring this video. Thanks again to Aaron for coming on out.
Awesome, man. Love seeing you.
Always appreciate that. And then if you guys haven't checked out the other videos we did with Cub, the X600 and then that 960, those are some really good videos as well with the Cub Cadet lineup. Aaron was in both of those. Those were good times.
Those were awesome times. I love hanging out.
There you go. All right, check those out right here, guys. And we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.